have the green screen? Is that fine?
That's fine. That's fine. We got Kelly, so that's all that's important.
Okay, good.
Kelly with Dork Tales, what's up?
Hey, hold on. Poof, there we go. Now you can see my illustrious setup, my
Nice.
beautiful setup. You can see some the sleeping dog. There he is.
Well, there he is. Is that the puppy?
Yeah.
That's
the puppy. He's a year old on Tuesday next week on 9/9.
Dude, it went that fast.
Yeah, seriously.
It went.
He doesn't scream as much anymore. It's nice.
I know that was an issue at one point with the campaigns and the podcasts that you're like, look, he's going to get involved any way he likes, you know?
It's really true. Like, I had to write him into stories. And then, like, honestly, this past year of raising him has been a good primer for when I have kids. Because if I'm still streaming when I have kids, it's going to be the same thing. It's like, okay, someone's got to, okay, sorry, there's a screaming baby, which we kind of had.
Yeah.
One of my players, actually a pair of my players had a kid.
Okay.
And so they trade off games now, who watches the kid. But it was really funny, actually. So not to swap off too much, but we were going to be finishing one of our campaigns that they were both in. And the last game was the night she went into labor.
Oh, dear God.
So we had to end up postponing like 2 months, but she's like, just bring the camera. I can do this from the bed. I won't be induced until midnight. And I'm like,
that's dedication.
I will never not love Caitlin for that. Like, she won a piece of my heart, man. I was just like, you are like going to be like playing through contractions. I am down. But anyway, hi, Tim, how's it going?
I'm doing fantastic, man. Doing fantastic. So we got the puppy out of the way. Health-wise, I know that I've been following you in Patreon and everything else. Am I wrong in my estimation? You had a couple of bouts of sickness this spring and late winter.
Kind of like, the thing is that, like, okay, so if you don't watch Dork Tales, whoever's listening to this podcast, we stream about between 4 and 6 days a week, and we have a cast of about 20-ish players. The problem is that, like, right now we've got a bunch of overlap. So we've got quite a few players that are in multiple games, multiple streams, and unfortunately we're nerdy people. So some of us are prone to chronic illnesses. You know, people just get sick. A lot of us are either in education or healthcare, or work in offices. So I work in a little silo at home and just do Dork Tale stuff all day. So, like, I only get sick if my partners do. But so I've been mostly okay personally. I think I had like a round of gout.
Okay. Yeah.
Which is really on the rise for millennials. It's weird. We don't drink enough water. You didn't think.
Okay.
Too many organ meats and kingly things, right? It's the king's disease.
In your defense, there's a strong portion of it that is genetically related.
It is. Yeah. My diabetes, cancer, and gout apparently run in my family. I got one of them. I don't want the other two.
Okay. Like that and nothing else would be grand. So,
all right, it'd be great.
Those other two things you don't need. And the diabetes is manageable for sure. It is
manageable, right? Like my mom's got that, my uncle's got that. It's just the thing that runs in my family is that nobody runs in my family. And I think that if they did, there was a little bit of sickness going on, some mental health stuff, right? And then,
well, understandably, dude, you've been like burning the candle at both ends with these campaigns. So
I just pour gasoline on the candle and let it match, man. Like, it's just, it's wild. But I mean, you do the same thing. Like, how many projects do you have on the go right now? Like, how many albums are you working on right now?
So here's a list. There's some numbers here and genres. This is just my chicken scratch. I should be a doctor because like nobody can understand what the hell I got going on here.
That's fair. No, same.
This is the culmination of about 15 to 20 different genres, including orchestral / D&D, which I have about 35 projects that are in various stages. So I have been working on stuff for you.
I can't complain. The stuff that I use of yours is fantastic. And when it shows up, I use it. But like, you got so much on the fly. Like, you're busy, man.
What happens to me is like late spring. What happened to me was I had promised Olivia over at Via Frequency that I was going to make her more meditation stuff. And I'd been making that promise for about 5 or 6 months. So I'm like, okay, I got to focus on this. I've got to like buckle down. It turned into a double album. It was Simplicity, Complexity, a 2-album meditation thing, and then a pan drum album, right? Which most of the pan drum stuff was very low key and like
I don't even know what a pan drum is. I know what a pan flute is.
Pan drum is like
drum?
It's a UFO looking thing. Some people know them as as hang drums. If you've ever heard of a hang drum, it's basically one like one scale on it, and you slap it with your hands, or some people use other means to trigger the notes or whatever, but most people just play it by hand. It's kind of like, just imagine a steel drum but extruded out instead of in, instead of convex instead of concave.
So it's massage drum basically, right? Like you listen to that while you're getting a back rub. Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
For sure. And between the 3 of those, I think there's like 30 tracks there. And so I was in this heavy meditation place for like a month and a half, 2 months.
How long does it take to get a meditation track out? Because I feel like with like orchestral stuff, like you have to have like the motif, and then you have like the melody, and you have to have like all of these layers. But when you do a meditation, don't you just need like 5 seconds, and then you just keep like looping it? Like
in some cases,
it's a drone usually, right?
In a lot of cases, if you don't want it too complex, like the Simplicity album, there was a lot of stuff on there that maybe it was 2 to 4 tracks that kind of faded in and out of each other. And I don't like to make things so monotonous that literally like people are like, this is like everything else I've heard. Like it needs to be something unique in there, right? But at the same time, you don't want a lot of activity when somebody's like you said, when somebody's on a massage table getting their back worked on. You don't want to feel like you're galloping through some heartlands or something. You know what I mean? Like it can't be too busy.
That's more what I want.
So I try to keep it chill, you know?
You know what I want?
What do you want?
I want some horror combat music.
Ooh. All right.
I keep looking for it, and like I've got some stuff from some of the other creators that I use, and it's fine. Like it's good, but it doesn't really like, it's either too bombastic so that you can't have it in the background when you're like doing a podcast or a stream, because it's just so like it like really distracts and it drowns people out, or it's like surprisingly chill. Like I guess if there's some gunshots during it might work, but like this doesn't feel combat to me. It feels like tension.
Okay, so it's got to energize without distracting.
Yeah, I want something to play in the background while like especially like for my 90s game that's slowly rolling out. I want like something you can fight a Shoggoth to, like fight a Cthulhu, like pull out the Tommy gun, but like that has that kind of like, oh, this is creepy, but also a little bit like dun, dun, dun,
Yeah,
I don't know, you know what I'm.
Yeah,
like something like that would be really good.
I'll have to send you some samples and see.
I would love that
if I'm hitting the mark or I'm missing it, because combining genres is like my favorite freaking thing to do. It's like, the spaghetti western was a perfect example of that. Orchestral, like weird spaghetti. In fact, I have that on my list too, because I found like 8 tracks that were unfinished. I've got another round of that coming. Literally, I'll go down the list for you. Dreamcore stuff, electronic blended, which it could be anything. It could be like a dubstep tune or this or that. Glitch, which is one of my favorite genres, because glitch tends to be very experimental, and what comes out of that with me is usually rhythmic things that are sometimes dissonant, but like just very playful, and it's freeing, because I'm like, I don't really give a shit what happens here. Like I'm gonna put this out, and then like invariably a couple of the tracks on the album, I'm like, dude, I've never done anything like that in my life. That's awesome, More horror. I told myself I was going to give horror a break, but I couldn't. I can't help myself.
You can't. Like October's coming right up. It's spooky month,
and I've got some kids spooky stuff too. I've been trying to get out some lighthearted spookiness that's a little more playful, like ooh, like Scooby-Doo-esque. Which that's perfect.
Yes.
That's perfect. I have to watch some Scooby-Doo.
You have to watch some Scooby-Doo. Oh my god, the old Scooby-Doo music is so good.
Stuff. See this? You're giving me notes, man. You're giving me notes. You didn't even realize you're giving me notes.
Oh, I'm happy to give you notes. Like I love your stuff. Like I've used tomb tensions so much recently.
Really?
Like, oh god. Yeah, tomb tensions. They've been in a lot of tombs in Vecna, and I'm just like, tomb tensions, easy, easy. Occasionally I'll put on like an ambient track that's got some like dripping water or something. I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's fine.
Nice.
Like I don't need anything else. It's great. I love having go-to tracks like that are not like it's a real good song. It's real good. But like, yeah, horror's dope. I would love more horror. I keep thinking about like what I find it really hard to get. I find it really hard to get hip hop. It's hard to find like anything where you're like, you're in a nightclub, and then it's always like, I don't know, some really bad electronica is generally what I find through a lot of like the subscription sites.
Yeah.
I do kind of miss, no, I definitely miss film music because that's where you could get some like Europop.
Right.
Back in the day, sometimes with lyrics. And that was kind of nice to be able to be like, like it felt like you could actually be in a club with some of that. Not all of it. Some of it was a little kitschy, but like some of it was like pretty solid.
Yeah. Yeah. There's that. Yeah. Because like typically hip hop is lyric based.
Mm-hmm.
To get an instrumental hip hop with some kind of melody.
I think Winnie the Mog used to do a bunch of hip hop with lyrics.
Okay.
Back in the day. So I know I think I used Winnie the Moog. Moog.
Moog. Yes, Moog synthesizer.
Yeah. So I used Winnie the Moog for a grad studies project that I did. I used him as the credit sequence. Bless you.
Oh wow. Thank you. Lo-fi, cyberpunk, metal. We talked about orchestral.
Yeah.
I found like 10 piano tunes that are like a combination of like somber and the hopeful, some like hopeful tracks, which I recently, I'll talk about the other part of it in a second, but some space tunes. I said spaghetti western, synthwave,
space
buddy
tunes.
cop, kid spooky, and kids tunes / comedy.
Don't you have a buddy cop album?
I do. Yeah. But I have some new ones that were sitting there that just popped. I have like 4 or 5 tracks, and I'm like, well, I can do like an EP with it or something. So I literally have like 170 projects that are at various stages.
What are you going to call the buddy cop one this time? Please tell me it'll be a reference to Stop or My Mom Will Shoot.
Oh, that would be fun.
I love those deep cuts, man. I actually thought that movie was fun when I was a teenager. I don't know if it actually is any good. Probably not. But it's like Estelle Getty and Stallone. Yeah.
Yes. And I think it was one of those ones. It's kind of like Bruce Willis and Hudson Hawk. It's one of those.
Hudson Hawk was for the longest time, I only heard about how bad Hudson Hawk was.
I loved it.
And then I saw it and I bought it on DVD. Like I have a DVD of it. It's somewhere in my closet. And because that's where all DVDs live now, in your closet in a binder. Because I haven't played a DVD in, God, why do I even have those things? but Hudson Hawk was fun. Swing on a Star to like time heists.
Yeah.
Like, will you play Nintendo with me?
Yeah.
I feel like it would do much better these days.
I think so too, because there's a lot of throwback nostalgia about the quirkiness of 80s movies, like the whole Pretty in Pink and One Crazy Summer, or, Better Off Dead with John Cusack.
Yeah, that's all back.
Yeah, those were like quirky, weird, old 80s style music throughout the whole thing. Just great films. Great films that didn't take themselves too seriously. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Everything's coming back. It's really weird. My partner works at a local university. So I dropped her off this morning and it's the first day of class. I grew up in like the late 90s, early 2000s. All the fashion's back. It's really weird seeing these, like, it's mostly the girls dressed like this, but they're dressed identically to the girls I went to high school with. like the Jinko baggy pants and tube tops. And I'm like, what? I mean, they're pulling it off better than anyone in like my generation did, but like, it's weird seeing all the outfits come back.
Yeah. As a Gen Xer, when I see like that whole thing come back, like a whole trend come back, I'm like, am I in some kind of weird time warp alternate universe? It's the most bizarre thing in the world.
it feels so weird. Like Jinkos? Like, I thought we were done with baggy stuff, but okay, cool. Like painter pants and and it's this like all
Torn
it's
up
all the same
jeans. That's all back.
That's true. That I have a couple pairs of torn up jeans actually, so I can't really complain there.
Yeah,
they're nice. They vent.
Yeah.
Some of the torn up jeans where it's like there's barely any fabric at all are a little weird. Where I'm like, I would never be able to put those on. I would rip them immediately. My foot would go through one of the holes, and then I'd have shorts.
Yeah, right. Yeah, some of them I see people walking around with, and I'm like, you're not leaving a lot to the imagination. So I'm not really sure what's up.
I would be cold. I would be, it's you're tougher than me. Yeah. But yeah, what else have you been up to? Is it just work nonstop?
So yeah, like you've actually caught me at an interesting time because I'm literally the last 2 or 3 days was a mass export of project statuses. So the reason I have these numbers in front of me is because it is an active effort into the fourth quarter of this year, because I'm currently at 860 tracks published to date, and I want to break 1,000 before the end of the year. So
that's a lot.
It's a lot of stuff. But as I was exporting these things, I got energized because more than half of them are like 3/4 of the way done. They're a complete thought. They just need to kind of be rounded out and polished and mastered and boom, exported, and that's that. So I'm pulling all the stops, man. I'm like on some of the tracks, like the lo-fi album, some of the tracks are a little too energetic, but that might serve a purpose for some people. So I'm doing project alternatives where I'm going to pull back the BPMs on a couple of those tracks, make them more lo-fi girl-esque and like chill and just, studying and that kind of thing going on, as opposed to the higher energy ones. So it's going to be helpful. Just think of versions like Kevin's local forecast. Like he's got local forecasts and local forecast elevator.
Yeah, absolutely. And you should do lo-fi fantasy music.
Lo-fi fantasy?
Like D&D lo-fi fantasy.
This is
like, what does the wizard listen to when he's studying type of thing, right?
Oh my God. You're giving me so many ideas.
I just picture like
this is the best call ever.
The headphone girl with like a big witch hat on. Because like I have one of those bookmarked for my writing. Actually, I have a spooky version of that where it's just like spooky tunes, but it's they've animated like one of the headphone girls with like looking like a vampire or something like that. It's like, yeah,
my God. You gave me an idea. I could repurpose some stuff that I already have. By doing that and pulling in
and just start a YouTube channel with it, loop it, and just like make a little bit of side money.
That's something that I'm in the ballpark to do, either this last quarter or first part of next year. I've been looking into it, and I might tie it to the current channel I have, or just open up a brand new one that's specifically just radio stations. My understanding is you have to have a dedicated computer for it, or
you do. Just get a cheap ass computer that can run it, like a $200 laptop that can just run the video. Because the thing is, like, you don't need much processing power. It's only an audio track and maybe a background image.
Okay.
You can almost do that from your phone. I mean, you can't quite, but almost. Right. You might be able to do it from your phone. I don't think about it. Anyway, I don't know if
you want something that's stable, right? Like
more stable. Yeah.
They make those they're basically hockey pucks at this point. Those little computers that they're not very fancy. I mean, my iMac Studio is much bigger, but you think about the little Mac Minis or whatever. They're like they're like a puck. You know what I mean? And but a non-Mac based, like a PC one, you can get a couple $100, right? And then, but you can only stream one thing at a time from each computer, right?
Yeah, but you don't actually, can you? Hold on, let me think about this. I think you could actually do multiples. You'd need multiple instances of OBS, but you just install it into different directories so that you have like basically clones of it.
Okay.
And then each one is tied to a YouTube channel. So I'm pretty sure I think a lot of these sites do like basically server farming off of a single PC.
Mm-hmm.
So you probably could. It would drain system resources. So you'd want a computer that's just dedicated to streaming, and you could totally do that.
Or I could literally just rent the server. and probably do multiple streams from that.
You could, whatever's cheapest, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, AWS can be a little pricey, that Amazon Web Service, but there's some out there that aren't too bad. And if I can get, I'd like to get like my 3 or 5 most used genres and just have like 24-hour channels on there and try to simulate the same thing,
Tim's Copy Shop. Get some art done,
yeah.
Either of you or an anime girl or something like that. That's all it takes.
Well, nobody wants to look at my mug. I'll put a female up there, It'll
probably, dude, I
do better.
I am the same way, which is why, when I've been doing new shows, we're doing Old Gods of Appalachia season 2 over on Patreon, and it's trying to finish the last damn episode, but it's impossible to get people's schedules. But I was like, I'm gonna get some art of myself too. My God, I wish I looked like my art. That dude is jacked. I love, oh my God, he looks like beefy Oscar Isaac. I'm like, hell yeah. It's not me, but I'm down. I'm happy with that being my representation. My favorite thing that I hate it so much. Hold on, I'm gonna send you this. Actually, you know what? I can pop it up on the screen behind me because of how I'm doing this. So and if by some rare chance the person who made this is on, I love it, but you gotta admit it's creepy. So this is called The Cursed Kelly. So I did a voice acting gig, and I did it pro bono. Somebody was just like, I need somebody to do a commander voice for a paragraph, and I'm like, I can do a commander voice. Hello, everyone. Whatever. And they're like, we'll pay you with art. And I'm like, okay, that's weird. Yeah, I'll do a chibi of you. I'm like, okay. So this is The Cursed Kelly, and it's so cursed, and everyone hates it, which means I love it because it's just, hi, how's it going? It's just so creepy. Look, it's soulless. And I love it.
So great. It's like
the best.
You ever hear those stories of the black-eyed children?
Yeah.
It rings of some of that lore. For sure.
I love it. Creepy. I make it my profile on everything I can now because they're like, yeah, you can just have the art. It's yours. You can do whatever you want with it. I'm like, I'm doing everything with it. This thing is ridiculous.
Oh, that's fantastic.
It's best thing I ever got paid for voice acting for, I think, that I can remember. I mean, money's good. I like money.
Yeah, money's great. Money's great.
Money can be exchanged for goods and services.
Yeah, I did a project this summer with a good friend of mine out in LA for Square. It was a bunch of puff pieces for some people that use their product, and it was a lot of fun. He's awesome in the way that this guy Eric Michael Schrader, he takes my stuff and he'll layer my tracks in a way that I've never thought about doing before. So we did a project the previous summer, or it might have been 2 years ago now, that he did like an intermezzo, like a movie in between jobs. He had been working for Life Below Zero, the reality show based out of Alaska, I believe it is. I don't know if they're fishermen or whatever. I never watched the series myself, but that contract came to an end, and he had time in between, and he had some other people that were out of work too, and they made this movie, and it was this goofy 80s slapstick, blah blah blah. He used like 80 of my tracks in this thing, and
I feel like you mentioned this guy last time we talked.
Yeah, it was a lot of
tracks.
Yeah, insane amount of my tracks, and in some cases, literally layered them together, and the way it came, I was like, dude, that's kind of crazy. I'm like, the way that you did this, like, never would have thought that those two things would have went together. The same thing goes with when I do a genre-based album and somebody uses it for something completely different. Meditation channel uses, I don't know, like one of my space ambience
I can see that
for meditation. That's not such a stretch. But
no, I can see the vibe. Like, you're in space meditating, cool. Yeah. Or it's, the contemplative space thing. I love using music in my games and viewing it in weird ways. And you need tracks like Kevin MacLeod's Sneaky Snitch, like ones like that. You need that in D&D games because players are always up to stupid stuff. You always need them.
Yeah. The uniqueness to the ones that really resonated in that comedy slash mischief genre that he produced are really the ones that like get at it like right away. You know,
right away. Path of the
Sneaky
Goblin King, Sneaky Snitch,
Monkey Spinning Monkeys jumps right in.
Yep.
You know, that's a whole nother genre I want to approach next year. I've done some comedy stuff, and like Mousy McMouskowitz has trended a little bit here and there.
Mm-hmm.
That one's fun. I try to make the names whimsical so that A, they trigger a thought or a memory, and B, they're actually like, what is this? What the hell is Mousy McMouskowitz? You know, and I'll play it and like, oh, okay, I'll use that, you know. But I definitely want to jump into that. It pulls you out of that darkness because, dude, June, I released a 24-track horror album. You know,
I think I've used some of that one.
Have you
I think so. Let me double check which one that is.
Heretic?
Yes.
The woman with the 3 faces?
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually got that to animate too. I made
I hate that. I hate that.
On Midjourney, they actually I built the thing in Midjourney and then I threw it back at it when they started doing
Cold
videos.
Call. I have used the hell out of Cold Call recently.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
And I've used some of the other More Locks Than Doors.
Mm-hmm.
And Cold Call have been my primaries for things.
Nice.
Cold Call is so good because it's like, it's not overbearing, but it gets the point across, and it has a slower version, which I love.
That's right. I did do that, didn't I?
Yeah.
See, I got to do that more
What's
often.
Chokehold? Did I listen to Chokehold?
That's
So I'm just pausing your podcast.
That's all right. I think it's got some rhythmic elements in it.
That's the weird thing about so much of the horror music is that you listen to be like, oh, I hate this. This is perfect. This is uncomfortable. Let's go.
Yeah, was it Infestations is a track not on that album, but it's on a few albums before, and it starts off, it's very light, and it's like a light social, software instrument. It almost sounds like it's going to be pretty, and then there's a drop and the drums come in and the timing of the track gets shifted. Like any genre, you ever listen to older music where they have a guitarist or a bassist or somebody, and they've got a rhythm and a melody that your mind thinks is going to be what the song is. Then suddenly the drums kick in, and the drums are like 2 off from that, and then suddenly it has a different feeling to it, and it disrupts you. And
a lot of Boston stuff used to do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So a little poppy, but like, yeah.
So that one keeps doing it. It keeps dropping in these weird vibes and these weird, and it just evolves over time. And it's just creepy. When I wrote it, and as I was adding the stuff into it, I'm just like, this just creeps me the hell out. I'm like, this is what things are this kind of stuff's supposed to do. It's just so much fun. Are you listening to it right now?
Yeah, I was okay with it until the drones kicked in. I don't like that. Oh,
yeah,
that's good.
Yeah,
it's unsettling.
Yeah, it's very that's the whole point. Is like, it's like what I visioned in my head as I was writing it is, it's literally like this field of daisies or something, and then there's these abandoned houses and overgrown brush and everything, and then suddenly there's just like slowly 1, 2, 5, 10. There's like a horde of zombies coming out of it, right?
Oh, yeah.
Infestations. That's just the more I can picture it in my head, the more complicated I can make, or more authentic, I guess, I can make the music.
Fair. Because that's cool.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. So how many campaigns you got going at the same time right now, dude?
Okay, hold on.
I gotta know.
You pulled up your notes, so hold on.
The last time we talked, you were winding down some, and then I've been following you, and it feels like you have more.
Okay, that is not a campaign notebook. So these are my campaign notebooks, because I have a bunch of editing I have to do today.
Yeah. Holy.
Yeah. So we've got Descent into Avernus, Mage the Ascension Bedlam, Old Gods of Appalachia, Mage the Victorian Age. Golden Vault finished, actually, so that one's actually off. I just have to post them. Shards of Nirn, Panic at the Radiant Citadel, although that's kind of on break right now. That's another Shards. Technocracy Dominion, Transylvania Chronicles. I need that for tonight. The Star Trek's actually on it's over, so that one's done. I just need to edit it.
Star Trek?
We ran a Star Trek game for Patreon, and it was pretty fun. My friend Bunny Hearted ran it. And the problem with Star Trek, though, is that like the engine doesn't really, it's a weird engine that runs it. It's the Modifius 2D20. And you don't really gain experience. You just kind of reallocate your traits. So you become like, it kind of feels like you're Flanderizing yourself more and more as you play, because you just become like a niche.
Okay.
I'm sure that someone's going to argue and that there are plenty of ways to like adjust it, but it's a weird game. It's not bad, but it's just different than I'm used to. But I loved that one because like I bought a full prosthetic to play a Klingon for it. So like I'm in full Klingon with the ridges and like the makeup.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's good, especially because I don't start like that. I start with it just being makeup, and then I like about 3 episodes in, I get like a different wig. So I look like the evolution of the Klingons throughout Star Trek, where I start off looking like Fu Manchu almost, and like
right,
and then I'm actually like Worf by the end of it, and it's really, it was interesting to play, although it took forever to get that thing on, like gluing that to my forehead. But it was fun. It was fun. I will eventually get that up on public release. But yeah, the Star Trek was a lot of fun. So I guess I'm running, I don't know, 10, 12, something like that. I am going to be winding some of them down. Transylvania Chronicles is about to go on hiatus probably after tonight, because they're going to be done with this first book that we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And then a bunch of them are like once a month games. Like my 20s game is only once a month, but it ends up being more than once a month somehow. I don't know.
People get excited and they're like, let's do another one.
Yeah, it's when I have a gap in the schedule and can like fit people in. Sorry, one of my drives just yelled at me. What are you doing? But so like, yeah, it's when I can fit stuff in. Honestly, I'm really hoping to get down to like 3 or 4 days a week streaming, because it just creates such a back end of work, like between editing and like audio mixing and just trying to make it like good. Like today, I'm supposed to get some stuff up on podcast, and I don't know if that's going to happen today. It might be a day late, but I'm a one-man studio like you, so it's like I only do what I can, and I still have to run tonight. So
yeah, I've got to find. And actually, I'm doing some exploring. So you're asking me other things that are going on. So one other thing I'm doing is I'm exploring the possibility of getting a virtual assistant. So there's this company called Sphere Rocket. I forget where they're based out of, but they basically vet and place virtual assistants for people all over the world. If I can offload as much as possible onto somebody else that's helping me reach out to creators like yourself and everybody else, and basically, I personally like going out onto YouTube and commenting on people's and thumbing it up and everything. I feel like that adds value to the person's channel, because how hard is it to get a click and a comment? I mean, you have a following now, and you have plenty of people that follow your show regularly. But you and me, like, just posting a new song, even though I have 10 or 20 something thousand subscribers or whatever, like nobody engages. Nobody, like they'll watch. The
comments
stuff.
are the hard part. Yeah. Like I find that, and it's really strange seeing the communities that do the tons of likes and comments, and it's a lot of channels that are like ASMR channels get a lot of comments. Yeah. I mean, sure, a lot of the time it's like dudes simping all over the ASM artists, but like it's just weird. Like you see that, or I don't know. It would be great to get more comments. I would love that.
Yeah.
But then you have to respond to the comments, and it's like, it's a loop.
Yeah. It does end up creating more work, but at least with that, if it's organic and it's real and it's not bot, I mean, because that's the other thing too, is there's plenty of channels out there that I'm sure are elevated by bot farms, right? I mean, you've seen them online, lines, a wall of freaking phones, or just somebody with a bunch of computer screens in front of them, and they're just commenting away, and they're manipulating the algorithm for somebody's channel for whatever amount of money a month or an hour or whatever, gaming the system.
Yeah. It's wild. I mean, it's so competitive these days, right? Like we've never had, like Dork has never had to. We've just kicked our own asses, and we just broke 12,000 on YouTube, and that's awesome. It feels really cool, especially like looking around. And this isn't like not a measuring contest or anything like that, but looking around at a lot of the other groups that started at the same time of us, and they're still around like 1 or 2, and it's like, you can tell that we put in the work and we really, really tried. But man, getting critical role numbers or getting Dimension 20 number, that would be pretty nice. That would be pretty nice.
Yeah. Now, granted,
that
has a whole nother aspect to it too. I mean, you've got Hollywood actors and actresses, voiceover actors and stuff. There's other pulls that pull that in, and sponsorships and everything. I mean, that's a route and a rabbit hole you could go down with your channel at this point. I mean, there's things.
Yeah. I mean, you do have a sponsor. I do have a sponsor, but unfortunately, like, it's hard to get sponsors in the tabletop industry these days because of all of the political stuff that's happening, like tariffs, and like our sponsor can't ship to the US right now because there's like, they're a dice manufacturer, like a small dice company in Vancouver. And there's now a minimum $80 levy on anything that gets shipped in. So if you buy a $5 set of dice, it costs you $80 to get it across the border, like, to pick it up.
God, it's not funny. That's just ridiculous.
It's not. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Well, I think it was the US trying to stop like Temu and like other sites like that from flooding the market with stuff and bypassing tariffs. But what it means is that there are all these companies now that's like, well, why would you order $100 thing from Canada if it's going to cost you $180 minimum to get it?
Yeah, no, it's ridiculous.
It's wild. So, like, I know a lot of places are hurting. I know that there are like gaming companies, because most printing is done in China, the UK, or in Canada, right? And what that means is that they're Gloomhaven, the new edition of Gloomhaven, is trapped in the UK right now because if they ship it to the US, the company will go bankrupt because the tariff are like 35% now or 50% for a little bit. And it changes every other week. It's weird.
What's going on with that too is that right now there's some litigation happening and some court orders forcing the hand to reverse some of that stuff or suspend it. Fingers crossed that continues down that path, because I think if the Great Depression and or World War II gave us any insight, tariffs just don't work. They just ultimately, the end user, myself, is the one that ends up paying the heightened tax because it gets passed on to the consumer.
It doesn't make any sense at all. And this is not a political channel. I have
that's all right.
I know. I started it. That's my fault. But I'm like, it makes you like, some of the stuff makes you get conspiracy brained, right? Like everything these days does. Like the where is he thing on the internet? Like, is he?
Oh yeah. He was missing for a few days, right? Yeah, it was just strange bruising, blah blah blah. Like what's going on?
JD Vance's Ottoman Empire rolling in, or Couch Empire. Love Seat.
Weird
Empire.
Times we live in, man.
It's so weird. Everything is so weird, and it's so.
That's why focusing on this stuff is so much more fun. You know what I mean?
It's so much more fun, which is why I hate canceling games. So like we've had a bunch of cancellations. One of the cancellations we had was I was at my partner's place and there was a wildfire that broke out less than a mile from our place.
Yeah, talk about that. Is Canada burning? Like,
Always.
What the fuck, dude? It's ridiculous.
So like well, I mean the interior, right? So the interior of British Columbia is very dry. It's like deserty. It's like it's similar to like Northern California in a lot of ways. And Northern California famously on fire. Yeah. Like all the time, right?
Right.
California's always on fire. And it's the same there. Like I was out there. My mom came to visit and wanted to spend some time out there for a change. So we were in town buying some dog food or dog toys or something like that for Teddy. And we left the store and looked up and there was a pillar of black smoke because what had happened is it got so hot. This dude was heading downhill. It's a very mountainous, like it's in the Rocky Mountains, like just on the other side of him. And his brakes caught on fire because it was so hot. And the dude pulled over to the side of the road next to the scrub brush.
There you go.
Yeah, and started a fire. So the entire highway system to get back to our place was just on fire.
Wow.
So we ended up having to go and because like it's around like Lake Okanagan, which is this immense lake, like twice the size of Lake of the Ozarks type of big, if you know what that is.
Okay. Yeah.
It's freaking huge. So, and there's of course one bridge. So we ended up having to do like a 3.5 hour detour through logging roads to get home and like let the dog out. And like, it was just wild because he was in his crate the whole time. And like, there was like, I think it got up to like 100 hectares of, which is apparently a lot of hectares of fire before they managed to contain it. And it's like, I really am glad that the landlord is like still home and can let Teddy out or take him if the fires get too close.
Right.
No houses were lost in this one, but like, yeah, no, it's wild. Canada like constantly has these wildfires because the climate is doing something different. It's like it's changing or something. I don't know what it is.
But the currents and like the air currents and everything, the way it actually carries things around. Because I know that
it's just drier. Like
Kevin
it's
was
so
experiencing some of it in Wisconsin. Like literally
dry.
there
I can
was
see that.
stuff coming down, and
Yep.
air quality was like, I don't know, like if you look at your phone, it was like 150 and like in the orange/red.
Yeah.
You know, just like
Sometimes
bad to
in the
be
summer,
outside
yeah,
today.
sometimes you have to wear masks. You
Yeah.
know, like sometimes like it's like we don't recommend you going outside without like an N95 or a filter mask. And it's like, all right. Like the sky is orange. It was a couple summers ago, like the sky was orange for like about 3 days because there was that was when the huge wildfires that were in BC, that were in like BC, California, Washington. It was the entire coast. It was like 2021, 2022, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Oh man, it was rough.
That was the ones where like full mountains were just engulfed.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep,
And
yep,
people were like, it was like hell on earth. You're driving on the highway and you're like, am I going to make it?
Yeah.
Trees
Yeah, I mean,
crashing in front of you.
There's a lot of that in the interior, but yeah. So we were up all night when it was just down the street from us because some guy crashed a car and it caught the hill on fire, and it was like, oh, are we going to be evacuated? So we didn't get to sleep till like 3 or 4 in the morning, and then it's like I can't run game tonight. My tank is empty. I got to run like the finale episode of this book of this chronicle. I'm like I don't have the energy for that. One of my players is literally going to fall asleep from last night.
So you got 10. Some of them
Something
are
like that, yeah.
Some of them you're winding down. How do you keep it straight, dude? Like, do you ever do a crossover and you're like, wait a minute, wrong campaign. Hold on.
Sometimes I will forget a couple of details, or the hard one is like I'm like, okay, where did we exactly stop? Especially the games that run every other week. Because there are some times where I'm like, all right, and then this happens, and they're like, no, that happened last episode. I'm like, oh crap, did we get that far? Hold on. Did you guys walk into the room, or did you hear the gunshot and then and it takes me a minute to calibrate.
Yeah.
And like I probably should just watch the last 5 minutes of the previous episode, but like I'm too busy prepping and doing other stuff.
Yeah.
I think that it's hyperfixation and attention deficit disorder. Huge helps. Because I just have all of it in my head and it's all like, oh, and then I'll do this. I also do a lot of self-referential stuff. I do a lot of cameos and a lot of lore drops that allow me to reinforce the setting. And so last night I was dropping details that are going to be relevant in a different campaign, like 300 years in the future. And it's kind of fun because a lot of these campaigns are running like they're in different time periods in the same world. So like one's running on Wednesday or something, or Tuesday technically, but we're covering an event that actually is more impactful on the Saturday game.
Okay.
And so like I start seeding it to a couple, because those games have a couple of players that kind of like that are in both, and they're real lore hounds. So I'll be like, oh, there's this. I had one where I kept referring to this god in the world, and they're like, oh, we haven't heard of this god. I'm like, oh, sure you have. You know, in the modern game, they're like, oh, what's the Widow of the Walls? That doesn't make, why is she called the Widow of the Walls? And then the other game, I killed the god's husband. And I'm like, that's why, hey, congrats. It's your fault. You know, that's why she has this new nickname. And I love doing that because there's very few things more satisfying than getting that moment off of a player where their eyes just go, I know what you're doing. And you're like, yeah, and you can't say anything out loud. Yeah, good. You can't ruin the surprise for everybody else just because you're clever.
Yeah. Yeah. Keep it to yourself.
Keep it secret. Keep it safe. I love that stuff. I love that stuff so much. That and making my players cry. Those are my favorite, probably. Emotional trauma.
I just watched the episode. Speaking of making players cry, I watched the episode of the IT Crowd last night where they were doing the campaign. I don't know if you ever watched the IT Crowd.
I have not. I need to watch the IT Crowd. It's been on my list, especially because like when I'm rounder, I look like young Matt Berry a lot. So like I really need to like father. You know,
it is such a great show. And I hadn't seen it in a while, and I just subscribed to BritBox recently and went back and watched some episodes of that and Toast of London. That's another Matt Berry series.
I love Matt Berry's stuff. I love
really,
and what
really
we do
funny.
in the shadows is so good. Hi, dog. What are you doing, bud? You just hanging out? You just dropping stuff on the floor for fun? Okay, cool.
So are most or all of those campaigns based on a predetermined storyline book? Or are they all, or like any of them homebrew, or like a combination of both?
So right now, a lot of them, I think this might be why I'm so tired. So we're running the pre-made modules, Transylvania Chronicles for Vampire.
Mhm.
We're running Descent into Avernus on Patreon. My friend Cal's running that one, so I just have to play.
Okay.
And
Which is
then
probably
I'm
a nice
running,
relief, right? Like
it's
or
so
for you?
nice when other people run. And then we're doing Vecna Eve of Ruin,
Mhm.
which I can't wait for that thing to end. Like, the players are fun, the game is fun, but the book is just so, no offense to anybody who wrote it, but it's just, it feels really corporate, and like they were just throwing it together at the last minute to like wrap up 5e before they went to 2024, like the new
Okay.
edition. And they're like, oh, we need like a big capstone, like an end game type of thing. And I'm like, well, you didn't set it up. Like, it's just all of these things happening, and it's this big fetch quest, and it's just,
So do you have to put things into it to make it, to round it out? Yeah.
They have one. So the idea of it is that you're trying to stop like Vecna the Lich, right? You know, similar to the guy from Stranger Things. If you aren't a D&D listener, whoever's listening to this, and he's like a multiversal threat. So they're having like all of these adventures that took place in other worlds kind of tied together. So it's like, oh, in this world you have to go to the you have to go to a place called Eberron, which is like steampunk, and you have to go to this other one that's like the traditional setting, but it's in hell, and it's like, it's pretty cool. But they had this one where you had to go to the Dragonlance setting, and I don't know if you ever read Dragonlance when you were younger.
No, I'm familiar with it though.
So the module, like that adventure, is all about werewolves.
Okay.
There are no werewolves in Dragonlance, and it doesn't fit the setting. The setting has 3 moons. That feels like it would cause some problems. You know, and it's just, so
the werewolves are out all the time.
Exactly. Or like there, it feels like you could come up with like different types of werewolf. Like, oh yes, this is a werewolf of the red moon. This is the werewolf of the white moon, and they all have different alignments and things. You know, like, but they didn't. It was just like, it's a pack of werewolves, and they're doing bad stuff. And I'm like, this is like,
there's an opportunity there, right? A huge opportunity to diversify that base, right? The whole werewolf base.
The adventure itself is fine, but it's not a Dragonlance adventure. So, and as a huge Dragonlance fan, like it got me into like D&D style fantasy when I was a teenager. So I just I rewrote it. So there are huge parts of this module that I'm just like having to rewrite. And like I've already put out a 60-page book on Dungeon Masters Guild for this that is just like character options, because the idea is that you're like established adventurers starting at like level 10 or 11.
Mm-hmm.
And when we heard that for this adventure, we were like, oh, this is going to be so good. You're going to be able to go into it, and they'll have all these character options for like high level play. And then we got
powered
the book,
up
and
right out of the gate.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
They'll have like tables for like how many magic items you should start with, and like really cool. And then we got the book, and it's like, here's a D8 chart of ways that you know each other. And I'm like, are you kidding me? During our planning meeting, when I picked the book up on day 1, I came home. I was like, you guys are going to be really disappointed. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I will write something for you. And I ended up doing it. It ended up being like 60 pages of material.
So you made a reference that you wrote a 60-page book and you uploaded it to,
it's on Dungeon Masters Guild right now. You can buy it for like $8. It's
very cool. Is that the first time you've done that, or you do that with multiple?
It's the first time that I've written for a bunch of other people's books. But it's the first time that like we did one as Dork Tales, and it's cool. Okay, like it's like a smaller product overall, and we're doing a couple of bigger ones in the future that we're working on presently that I can't talk about because they're still in development and I don't want to ruin it. But it's going to be something that we lean more on towards in the future, because like you got to diversify. And one of my good friends, Travis Legg, who writes for Onyx Path Publishing, has constantly been on me where he's like, look, do you have game notes for your games? Just type them up differently, man. Like, just put them out there. People need that type of material. If you're doing the work, do an extra hour or two and get paid. Like, it's only going to be like, it might be like $5 or $10 a month, but if you do it 1,000 times, That's $5,000 or $10,000 a month, or $5 or $100 a month or something like that, and that buys
Right.
your groceries for a week.
Sure.
Yeah,
any way that you can monetize what you're doing already is ideal, and that's a path. Now that I'm rapidly approaching the 1,000+ song catalog. Now it's go time. Now it's promote time. Now it's get it in people's hands. How do I make this catalog do the work that it needs to be doing so I can keep doing this for the rest of my life? Right.
Well, yeah, you want that passive income. I never understood the power of passive income. The thing that has really struck me, because I always thought it wasn't as big of a deal, and it's affiliate code advertising. I was like, oh, this can't make that much money. And then I did one for a company I won't name, and I went and I checked my balance after like 8 months. Was like, whatever, I'll have like maybe $100 in there. No, it bought all my Christmas presents that year. It bought me a new microphone, and it was just like, oh my God, like advertising revenue is wild. I wish that I had more of it.
Well, the whole like environment has changed, right?
Well, absolutely.
Do I still have it up here? Let me see if I still have the article here. Yeah, I do. From Hollywood Reporter, this was on August 20th. YouTube hit 6 consecutive months as top TV distributor.
That makes sense.
Just think about that for a second. It's bigger than cable. It's bigger than any other platform because more people spend time there than they do in front of their television. And so the environment's changed, but they still need to get in people's faces and advertise to people. So how do you do that? Well, you find somebody in a niche environment. Your example, is, tabletop gaming, role-playing games, active, podcasting, all that. Like, picture everything that you do and all the things that incorporate what you do, and any aspect of that could be tied to you via an affiliate, right? And that's why I'm starting to do things like when I have like a bye week, I call it, I don't have somebody on and I don't have enough updates to have, I'll just do a demo podcast where I'm like, I literally did 2 in a row recently where I'm like, okay, I got these older VSTs that I haven't played around with in a while. I'm going to go through there and do some patch auditioning and basically just play around with it. I end up like playing something live, not live in the sense that, it's in the podcast.
Why don't you do live though? Like you could totally do like a live broadcast on YouTube.
Yeah. I've considered
literally
that.
In an hour, I've got my world building stream. Like at noon today, I pop on Twitch and I write. I have like a window open where people see me type, which is also one of the most awkward things when you do typos. Like it's just, typing in front of a crowd is something you got to get used to.
Well, it's kind of like this, like talking in front of a camera and talking with people. Like this is 2 years, I think, at this point. Like just August of 2023 is when I started the podcast. You finally
okay with the sound of your voice?
I think I was fine with it in the beginning. What I wasn't fine with was the pacing. Just this. Oh yeah. Right? Yep. Just knowing that like I've got a loose thing of notes to the right of me and like they get smaller and smaller every time because I know what I want to talk about. So now I don't have as many filler words. I don't do that as often anymore. I literally do that instead. I'll take a pause, and when I go and do an edit,
much more effective.
Yeah.
I'm very bad at that. I a lot still, even after like 6 years of doing this. It's easier, and it's try.
Sometimes that has an emphasis. Sometimes there's a really strong emphasis by having an and a ah, or some kind of pausing. Verbal
pauses are always
cue.
better. Pauses are always better because you can, especially in like verbal conversation, you can wring so much more out of somebody with a pause.
Oh yeah, especially when you ask a question and they follow up with a question back, and you say something like, "You haven't answered the question," and then you just sit, and you let them sit in it, because then they just start going nuts. They're just just start going like. But you have to be comfortable with you have to be comfortable with silence. That's the thing. You got to be comfortable with
most
silence.
People aren't.
No. I struggle with it still to this day. I
mean,
really
you're
do.
a chatty guy, and so am I. Like, I'm very chatty. I talk for my dog, for God's sake. Like,
I talk to my
doing
cat. He's over here.
I know. I talk. Do you talk for him as well? Because like I have a voice I do for the dog, and, like where he just like talk, and he's a sassy little jerk in my head. But like I started doing it at the dog park today around other people, and I'm like, I feel like I'm coming off as like mildly deranged.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm talking to myself as my dog in a dumb voice. Yeah.
I would talk for Kimby, but Kimby talks enough for himself.
Nice.
I don't know if you can see him in the background on the pedal. It's probably out of shot.
No, it's just out of shot.
Yeah. If I'm gone for any extended period of time and I come home, it's 5-10 minutes of him just talking to me the whole time.
That's cute.
And,
that's really cute.
And this is also out of shot. Down to my left is his automatic feeder and his automatic water fountain. And he'll just sit here and look up at me and be like, meow, meow. And I'm like, dude, you have food, you have water. I cleaned your litter box. What's up?
I need attention.
You know, he's just, and I'm like, I could have been hanging out with him for like 2 hours prior to that, but doesn't care. I'm the center of his universe. I understand that. So I have to
feel that he's staring at me right now. He's looking at me. Now he's looking out the window. Okay.
He knew you were talking about him for
I'm talking about you, bud. Yeah. What about it? Yeah. What about it? Right? Yeah. Hi. What's up? You gonna let me out? No, I'm not gonna let you out. You went out before.
I love that voice. That's the best.
Yeah. No, God, I give myself such crap. I got in the car this morning. So I have a rental car right now because I got a new car last year. Like at the beginning of the year, I got a new car. And about 3 months in, I'm on a ferry because you have to take a ferry to get to the island, like where my primary residence is. And I got hit by a boat on the ferry. Like a guy with a boat trailer smacked into the side of me and like dragged a boat along the entire side of my car. So
Wait
I finally
a minute.
got it in.
You're on a ferry hit
I got
by
a boat on a ferry.
boat.
I think it's hilarious. It was no fault for me, so like it gets covered, but like
I can't imagine what the reaction of the claims adjuster was when that came across their desk. They were like,
yeah.
Wait, what?
I had photos at least, so that was good. But like, so I've got a rental car that I'm getting in this morning. It's got leather seats and rental car, and he's like going nuts sniffing the thing. He's like, What is this? What is this? I'm like, it's a cow. Like it smells like cow in there. Yeah, it's cow, Teddy. Like it's cow. Like, wait, how do you know what a cow is? I know what a cow is. You haven't? Okay, yeah, you've seen a cow, and you're a cow. Whoa, whoa! Like burning myself. My partner's just sitting there, like, you done? You done? No, it's not done. I need some donuts. Fat ass. Like, whoa!
So I imagine you're winding down some of these, but there's new ones behind them.
100%. 100%. I've got...
that ruse that you're gonna like free up some of your time, it's bullshit.
I know.
You're not doing that.
I just found a meme about that last night that's like, I'm finally done with some of my projects and have free time for my other projects. And it's like, as soon as, so when the Western one's done, I have 2 new ones. Thankfully, so one of the bread and butter things that we do on Dork Tales is that we do the pre-written adventures, because a lot of people tune into those to see, hey, how did somebody else run this? Right?
Gotcha. Yeah.
So that has been very good at helping promote us. And then I trick them into watching games that are better that I wrote. It's really cool because then we've managed to convert a lot of D&D people to like playing other games, because like D&D is great, but like play other stuff. D&D doesn't have to be everything. You get different things out of different games. Like I have the game I ran on Monday over on the channel is based on Succession. Like it's a bunch of people, they're techno magic users in a modern Vancouver who like you have to hide your magic, right? Mm-hmm. And their whole thing is that they are trying to get the board of directors at their media company to vote one of them in as the interim CEO while their father has surgery. And it's wild. It's a wild game. Like they had one episode where they had to go to a billionaire's house, and the billionaire claims that he's from the future, so that he's Elon Musk, but saying that he's like from the future as his shtick. rather than, just being from apartheid. And so like he made them do like super ketamine with them, and they went on vision quests, and it's just such a wild game. But I love taking people. It's great. And through these vision quests, they're having like my favorite was I had one of the players, their vision quest was being on a talk show where the interviewer was their father who's about to go undergo the surgery, and he's asking her questions about why she's not good enough. Like, so why did your father not just appoint you? Is it because you're a woman, or because you're incompetent, or both? And it's just like these horrible. And it's now, mind you, the players are into this. They want this. They want the high drama. And at the bottom of the screen, I have a news ticker that has all of these hashtags scrolling like it's on like CNN, where it's like hashtag social media faker, hashtag daddy's little damaged girl, like all of these things. And
these are all predetermined that are just running by.
Yep. I came up with about 100 of them.
Clearly things you couldn't do in a traditional campaign, right? They wouldn't resonate, and they wouldn't be appropriate.
They would. You got to be really careful, and you have to make sure that the audience knows that everybody is on board for this, and this is a high drama game. But I love getting people from D&D watching that, where they come and they're like, "Oh, so, it's all about fighting dragons," and I'm like, "Yeah, what about this game?" And they're like, "Oh, yeah, this is kind of cool too." And then they get into like the new ideas, and like it's so cool, like helping people branch out into new stuff. But when the Western game is done, so I'm running a game you've done music for, that is like a Wild West / sci-fi, secretly themed one. I've got one that's kind of inspired by Warhammer 40K that's in the future. That's going to be about a bunch of soldiers who get betrayed during a war and have to stop their commanding officer from doing a big oopsie.
Mm.
And then I've got another one that's kind of inspired by like the Persona video games. Like kind of set in a modern era.
Okay.
And so I'm looking forward to both of those. And I'm secretly working on some more horror stuff as well, because I love horror.
Yeah.
I love it.
Well, you have no shortage of that from me, and there's more to come. So
I hope so. I can't wait. It's so useful. I love having that right song in the background during a horror scene that just sets people's teeth on edge. Oh, it's my favorite.
What's funny, as you're talking about these different things, and like some other campaigns that are out there on YouTube have used my music before, not just D&D, but like Vampire the Masquerade. There are a lot of that. I didn't realize how prolifically that was used and played until I started doing searches for my name, and it was coming up like video. I'm like, whoa. I'm like, okay,
that's cool.
That's a very popular game, apparently.
Yeah.
Because
it really is.
But also, I imagine when you talk to people about a role-playing game, and specifically D&D, they can get this myopia and this myopic thinking of like, oh, it's they get zoomed back to 1980, and they've got pieces of paper, and they're erasing and putting new stats down, and everything's very stagnant and in a room, blah blah blah. And I'm like, dude,
covered in Dorito dust.
Yeah, it's nothing like that anymore. And expanding into these other campaigns and these other stories with these other platforms and these other rules and game bases, it just shows you that, even as an adult, it's important to have the theater of the mind and to play.
The power of make-believe is transformative, and it's so amazing to bring people in. And some of my players don't come from any type of theatrical background. And when you give someone the power to play pretend and to really get into it, it's some people I have seen be the suavest, most charismatic people in a game, where in reality, I would be like, you're a wet fish, like,
right.
Like a cold fish, dead fish, whatever it is. But like, and I'm like, taken aback by like, that is the smoothest line I have heard this month, and it came out of you.
Yeah, in a game we're playing, right?
In a game we're playing, you have seduced me, sir. How did you manage that? You have seduced the dungeon master.
No, it's amazing, because at some point in our traditional schooling and our traditional upbringing, for the most part, I mean, there's outliers on both sides always, but for the vast majority of the throng that goes through the schooling systems anywhere, by the time you're out, it's like, well, now it's time to get serious, and you've got a 30 to 40 year career, and blah, 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 and you got to buckle down and be serious and pay your bills and pay your mortgage and save for your retirement, blah, blah, blah. It's like, you need play. Like, a case in point is when I do, so with this, right, you know, you can probably imagine it requires me to do a lot of other things to finish even a body. Like, some people don't have a body of work like this in an entire lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
And I plan on trying to do that in the next 4 months. Right. And
that is
which is absurd. It's absurd. It is but the way I do it is literally with play. Anytime I get stuck in a rut, anytime I feel like I've hit a wall and I don't have any juice left or whatever, 1 or 2 days, I'm going to play video games. I'm going to go and watch like 4 or 5 movies I haven't seen in a long time. I'm going to take a road trip for 4 or 5 hours. I regularly nap.
So good for me.
Yeah.
You regularly nap?
No, I do. I do nap. Naps are good, especially when I'm overwhelmed with some of this stuff. I just like, you let your brain subconsciously sort everything you put your mind into for a bit.
I feel like artists like us, like either my writing, your music, like the biphasic sleep schedule is kind of a necessity, because you're up all night and then you're like, I'll take a nap around 3 p.m. the next day. And then you're back up, you're doing it all night again.
It's funny with me, my circadian rhythms are pretty standard. I can push it some nights and stay up to like 2-3 o'clock, but I feel it the next day. And
I'm starting to get
I still wake up at like 6-7 no matter what.
Really?
So yeah,
you got that old corporate programming from when you had the 9 to 5,
or
the 8 to 5, whatever it is these days.
Yeah,
but like, that's fair.
Yeah, it just kicks in.
That's why I drive my partner to work instead of let her take the bus, is because that means that I'm up every day at 7.
There you go. Well, see,
it's good.
Gaming your day and gaming your schedule in a way that maximizes your productivity, no matter what it takes, is well worth it. Here's an example. Like February, I hit like my heaviest weight I've ever been, right? I was approaching, for me...
Yeah, you look like you've lost some weight, actually, since last time we did this.
I lost about 17 pounds, I think.
I actually thought you just like changed your facial hair, but no, you're right. You got a jawline.
Yeah, I like a little something going on, right?
It's good.
But I was at like 209, 210, and that's heavy for me. Like, I'm not a very tall, I'm like 5'11", and I didn't look like I was holding it weird, like it wasn't all here, but it was just everywhere. So I was just thicker, and like it was going to be time to go up a belt size and waist size and all. I'm like, no.
I just managed to claw back a belt size. So I'm down about 10 pounds in the past month or so. And that's,
I could say the same thing about you. You definitely look different.
I am trying, because like same, like it's basically in the pandemic, right? Like the pandemic, I was working out 9 times a week before the pandemic. I was like, I'm going to get really swole. And then all the gyms closed and I started eating carbs again. And then, it is what it is.
Well, so what I ended up doing is
what you do?
I used like an online calculator and just determined that here's my maintenance calories, and I'm going to take like 6 and change off of that. And one of the things I'm going to do is cut out as much refined carbs as possible. So
it really helps.
You can have whatever you want in fruit, vegetables, and I also don't eat red meat because I've got some cholesterol issues and some other issues that I should stay away from that. So maybe once or twice a month I have that. So I did all that stuff, and then I just literally, I don't have my phone in front of me, but I literally just open up a freaking notepad thing and I count throughout the day. And initially I would search it and figure out exactly what it is. Now my estimates are pretty good because I've stayed and maintained that 17 to 20 pound lower.
Well, yeah, like once you get over the initial hump of counting and you start remembering like that this much meat, like a palm-sized amount of meat, is about 300 calories or 400 calories or whatever type of meat you're eating. And like it really also changing your plate size. Because like as a former American, like who lives in Canada now, whenever I go back to the Midwest, man, like the plates are like this freaking big and
yeah.
they're always full. You don't eat that much food.
No.
Like you train yourself to eat that much. And it's like, I don't want to, especially if you live in like Kansas or Missouri, like right in that, like it's especially you go out to barbecue or something, it's just so much.
Yeah. The sugar alone in the sauce and everything else just doubles and triples the caloric intake.
I feel so much better when I'm not on sugar. Like it just, yeah. But like it's the same thing though. Counting is incredibly important. It's just, you got to get used to it because it's so easy to like stop counting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Falling out of habit with it is crazy. And another thing I started doing is, and it lends itself to this, is I'll walk at least 3 or 4 times a week, a good 4 or 5 miles. Right.
That's great.
And, you know, cardiovascularly, it's great. I used to be an avid runner, but as you age, you can imagine, like, my freaking joints don't like it as much anymore. And quite frankly, you get into an anaerobic level where I'm actually burning muscle. I'm not actually burning fat. So
have you tried, forget the exact term, but it's like hit run or hit walking, like where you do like 5 minutes of normal pace and then do like 3 minutes of like super fast, not running, but like you can't hold a conversation while you're walking that fast.
I have not, but I'm familiar with hit. So
yeah, it's kind of like, it's a walking version of that. I had a really good luck with that and doing that type of like intermittent running, like almost like 10K training. When I like a decade ago. I lost a ton of weight when I was doing that, because I was in Japan and like eating tons of fish and stuff, which you have access to tons of fish, I would imagine.
I do. I'm not a big fish fan, unfortunately. Okay. Yeah.
Well, you got chicken.
Yeah. Chicken and turkey. Big fan of that.
Turkey's weird. I don't know. Turkey sausage is really good. Like turkey meat is just kind of, there's that taste to it that just doesn't quite vibe with me.
It's a little gamey for you.
I like ostrich though.
Really?
Ostrich is impossible. Oh, it's so good. It's basically red meat.
Okay. I had an ostrich burger once. Literally almost vomited. Almost vomited.
Really?
But I think me and my wife at the time tried it, and she's like, well, what do you think? You know, we had made it at home for each other, and it was supposed to be like something like we were drinking wine and we're like trying to do something fancy or whatever. And I'm like, honestly, I go, it's fucking heinous. I can't do it. She's like, oh, thank God. And she puts it down or whatever. We had like backup sirloin or something in the fridge. We cooked that instead. I was like, oh, thank God.
Oh, it's lovely when you have that moment of simpatico and nobody is hurt or anything like that. You're like, I'm sorry. I can't do this. No. We need to order a pizza or something. Yeah.
It has to be something else because I could swallow this, but it's coming right back up.
Oh God.
So I do that walking 3 or 4 times a week. The first mile or so, silence. I've got my earbuds in, I'm walking or whatever, but like I do nothing. And like my mind gets cleared, the endorphins start kicking in. And then I open up my Google Drive, I open up the voice memo app and just start listening. I'm like, okay, first lo-fi tune, listen. And then what's amazing about this, Kelly, is that I literally am able to comment on my own stuff at a level and at a authenticity and an honesty that is like unbridled. It's like,
well, yeah, you're feeling good.
Song needs low end, needs another section in it. It only has an A and B section. It needs this, blah, blah, extend the end of it. And there's a weird note that keeps hanging on in the B section. Fix that, blah, blah. Like clarity, total clarity. And then I come back to the studio, not even the same day. It could be like the next day or a week later, sit down with all those notes and I just execute. I don't question it. Cool. I just execute on those things. That's how I can do the volume.
It's almost like you have 2 different brains working on it then. That's cool. That's cool.
Because you literally like you inject that endorphin level brain on the walk, you know, and it's free. Like I do edit some stuff outside of that. Right. But I don't think I get the clarity I get on the walks.
That's cool. I'm gonna have to try that next time I drag my my lazy ass to the gym.
Yeah.
Just hopefully going to be on either tomorrow or Friday. I'm heading back. I gotta do it, man. I gotta do it.
Well, that was part of it for me too, is that I was shedding pounds because, like you were saying, like I wanted to get a little, midlife buff here. I want to, like, build some muscle here and get, fit and feel strong and everything else.
Go from dad bod to rad bod.
Yeah. And I got this freaking left shoulder thing going on that, like, literally I pulled
shoulder. Just wait, I have a left shoulder thing too.
Do you?
Did you just sleep on it weird?
Yes, for a long time. And then, but I don't know if I did soft tissue damage of some kind, because I had it x-rayed and there's nothing, they couldn't see anything in the joint or anything functionally wrong. So he's like, well, you've got weakness in there. You got to do some exercises. So I tried doing some exercises, putting your arms out like this, like almost like the praying stance where you drop them
and doing the circles and
when I drop my left arm down here, I feel a pull that, not a click, but a pull that has like not a sharpness, but enough that I'm like, don't keep going. So I'm
Where is it? Is it behind the clavicle?
It feels like it's deep muscle or in the joint. So
stretch your chest better.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, give it a try. Like, I find so much stuff because of the way that we're like always hunched over.
It's constant.
I did physio a few years ago for some like a shoulder chest thing, or for mostly a back thing, and they had me doing wall stretches. So like basically like grab a door frame and you do 90 degrees and you just lean into it with the door frame against your elbow.
Okay.
And then you do it at 40, 45, 90, 45. You do it like at a diagonal to get your pectoral minor as well. That's the one that hurts like because it is a tiny muscle and it's not used to being stretched. But hit both of those, do like a 30-second stretch, and like it'll help a lot.
Because that comes around, right? Like,
yeah.
It's all interconnected and it's all layered, right? So one's over the other, and
like when one's a little looser, it'll loosen the rest up too. And like if your chest is tight, your back is going to be strained, and if your back is tight, then your chest is going to be strained. But like who has the problem that their chest is to hello, hi, how's it going? No, it's all of us slowly turning into Mr. Burns,
right?
Getting our dowager humps.
It's this unnatural sitting in front of even my setup. Like my keyboard's lower, so my shoulders tend to drop, and I'm typing lower.
Stretch your chest.
Yeah.
Like not right now, but like if you want to, but like let me know how that goes, because like I found that it was really useful. Like especially if you are of the womanly persuasion watching this, do it too, because you got more on there than we do, and stretch your pecs. My partner really, like, it saves her life.
Yeah.
Like,
I'll have to give that. I definitely don't stretch enough. So
no, nobody does.
Nobody
does.
I'm going to go out for a walk 4 days in a row and not stretch before or after.
As it is.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
As are you. Oh man. Well, dude, you've given me some serious, like, food for thought here. I mean, between horror combat music, hip hop, and
happy to help.
Lo-fi fantasy. What is the other thing you just said? What is
any swing too? If you ever do big band or swing, do some Fallout music.
Like,
I don't want to set the world.
Oh yeah,
I might be doing a Fallout thing in the near future that I've been promising for a year.
But yeah,
we're gonna do a Fallout game. We were gonna do it last year, and then the costumes took so long to make because we just have one person that was doing the costuming for the vault suits that we didn't have them until like April or May. And I'm like, I'm not wearing coveralls in the summer without air conditioning. I'm not doing it, man. So we'll do this in like November. Like we'll just postpone. I don't want to melt, which is good because it gives our super mutant player more time to learn how to paint himself.
Well, Bethesda's announcement that yes, it's in production.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Is promising. When it comes is another thing entirely. There's also, I don't know if you're a Far Cry fan at all. Did you play that series at all?
I beat number 4. It was really easy.
Yeah. Yeah,
Just sit there and wait.
I beat the beginning you're talking?
my favorite ending in any game is just, now don't go anywhere. And you're like, All right, let's go blow some shit up. Okay, sure. The best ending.
Those Easter eggs are the best.
They
5
really are.
had a similar thing. You just didn't arrest. You didn't arrest
Really?
Joseph Seed, and it just ends. You know, the credits roll. You kind of just leave. You're this cop that's supposed to, like, you know, take over this guy because he's got this compound and he's like this religious zealot. You know, all that stuff. And no, if you just don't arrest him, the game ends.
That's
It's like,
great.
See you later.
You were gonna say,
know?
you said that you play video games to relax. Have you played Claire Obscure yet?
No, that's
So
different
it's
than that something 33? That's different
it's
than
the
that,
same one,
right?
It's the same
Oh,
one.
is it?
Yeah. So it's Expedition 33 Claire Obscure, or Claire Obscure Expedition 33.
Expedition 30.
At the very least, check out its soundtrack. Its soundtrack is just phenomenal.
All right. Now I have to buy it because
It's hard to find.
that's
You basically have to buy it digitally.
well, that's I pretty much because I don't
I like having the disc.
I don't have a lot of
give it to a
closet
friend.
space. Otherwise,
okay.
I would.
It's full of
I would.
DVDs.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was going to say. You know, but the PS5 that I have is digital only because at the time,
Yeah. It was impossible to find any.
Yeah. And now they've announced a next gen that's coming out in 27, I think. So at this point,
Wait, a PS6 or like a PS?
yeah, because they did the PS5 Pro, but they're gonna do a next.
How long
gen.
has the PS5 been out?
Several years now.
It'd be I guess yes, it's like 2020,
2019?
2021.
2019, 2020, something like that.
It'd be nice if there was a game for it or two.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's like no games for the anyway. Gah.
Yeah. Well, there's also like, I think some of these game studios are finally like letting down their hair. Like Bethesda, I don't think is going to be gatekeeping any of the Fallout. You know what I mean?
Well,
like they'd be stupid.
Did you hear what's happening with Xbox?
That's just basically becoming a computer.
Yeah, and they have made an alliance with Steam.
Okay. Yeah. I've heard that.
That like your Steam library will be able to be played through your Xbox and all of that. And it's like, okay, and the no exclusives. And I'm not an Xbox guy, but I am a Steam guy. I've got hundreds of games on Steam because of like Humble Bundles and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, let's go.
Yeah. PlayStation, if they're smart, should follow suit. They should all just.
I think
there's cross-platforming, you know, already with a lot of like with Fortnite and all that kind of stuff, like and Modern Warfare and everything. Like,
I think Nintendo is going to be the only holdout, really.
Yeah, but although that seems to me to be it's a unique genre in the sense that like the Mario and all that, it's very kid centric. You know, they do have, you know, mature titles that find their way on there.
I mean,
but do people really get a Nintendo for that?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, a lot of the mature titles you just be able to get on Steam.
Yeah.
You know? So
yeah.
It's mostly just for the portability, I would imagine. But I don't know. I don't need another Switch. The first one was fine. I'm looking at it right now. It's covered in dust. Like I don't have time to play video games, unfortunately. I would spend more time in Claire Obscure. Yeah, because it's really great.
It's really good.
It's really
been on my wish list for a while now, and I've gotta
be emotionally stable going in. And don't look up anything about it.
Yeah. All I know is people like yourself have just said, you're into RPGs. What do you think of this game? Haven't played it yet. You need to.
You probably should. And the best thing about it is that it's a bunch of indie people who just like the creator had worked for Ubisoft and just got really tired of it.
Okay.
And was like, I'm going to make my own game. And then he did. And that's it. Like, it's not big studio. It's this little thing. And it's so good. Like that. I would put it up there with like Baldur's Gate 3 in terms of like just the quality. And like, it's got some jank. Yeah. Cause it's a small studio. Like there are some things where I'm like, they could have done that a little better. The team is like, I don't know, like 30 people. Yeah, something like that, like a ridiculous amount. They just found the composer like randomly on YouTube or SoundCloud, and we're like, "Hey, do you want to do this? Like, we can't pay you much until the game sells." And he's like, "Yeah, let's do it."
Wow.
And it's like all this like retro French music. Oh, it's so good.
Oh, I got it.
But go play it right now. Go sign off and go play it.
That sounds fantastic. Well, dude, it was great catching up with you today. I appreciate you
Always.
making the time, and you've given me some food for thought. There is quite a bit of things in front of this, but you know what? There could be an intermezzo here or there of 6 or 8 track album interspersed there that explores some of these other genres. My God, Fallout old timey. I should do some of those.
You should do. You'd have fun with that.
Yeah, I have fun with all of it. Honestly, it just playing with genres and cross genreing. It's really good stuff. I imagine it's the same level of homebrew intermixed with standard storylines that, like you said, didn't end like you're like, how am I going to tell this? Well, I'm going to tell this story my own way. That's how I'm going to tell this story. So that's what I do. I tell my own musical story. So, well, it's been fun, man. We should do this again real soon.
We should.
All right.
Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely, man. Take care.
Take care.